Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
Hello LumioseStation and welcome back to another episode of Pokémon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Today we're looking at Blastoise, and as usual, leave your suggestions in the comment section below on what I can cover in future episodes. So let's get going. First up, obviously Blastoise's details. It's the Shellfish Pokemon and is a Water type. It's number 9 in the National Pokédex, obviously being the final evolution of Squirtle, one of the Kanto starters, and is also in the Central Kalos Pokédex as number 88. It stands at 5 foot 3 inches tall or 1.6 meters and weighs 188.5 pounds or 85.5 kilograms. Breeding wise, it's in the Monster and Water 1 groups and is a male 87.5% of the time, so it's very common to get a male rather than a female. As I mentioned just now, Squirtle, obviously one of the Kanto starters, evolves into Wartortle at level 16, and then Wartortle evolves into Blastoise, starting at level 36. Taking a quick look at Blastoise's base stats here, we can see its health points are mediocre, they're not brilliant, however its defensive stats are quite good, and its offensive stats and speed are sort of, again, mediocre. It's not really an offensive Pokemon as such, but it is more of a defensive, bulky Pokemon. So, first up we're going to look at its typing. Being a pure water type, there's not much to say, apart from the fact it resists fire, water, ice and steel types, and is weak to grass and electric types. It takes neutral damage from all the other types, so there's not a huge amount to say here. It doesn't have very unique typing, it's just a plain water type. So it's got more resistances than weaknesses, which is a good thing, but then again it doesn't have that many resistances. So it's a two-edged blade, you know? Not got many weaknesses, but then again it doesn't resist a whole lot as well. Then, taking a quick look at its abilities here, its main ability is Torrent, which powers up water type moves when the Pokemon is in trouble, the same as all the other water type starter Pokemon, but its hidden ability here is Rain Dish, which means the Pokemon gradually regains health points in rain, which could be helpful if you're running a rain team. However, as I mentioned in previous episode of DataDex, rain is not a huge factor now in Generation 6, since drizzle doesn't mean it's perpetual rain, it just means it's going to stop after 5 turns, which really sucks because obviously it does reduce Rain Dish's usefulness a bit, but I don't think Rain Dish was available in previous generations, but I might be wrong there, so blame me if I'm wrong. Then taking a quick look at Blastoise's highlighted moves here, we can see its first move it learns is at level 20 is Rapid Spin, and this is one move we're going to focus on in both the sets we're going to look at because it really does make Blastoise usable as such, because Rapid Spin is always a good thing to have in the metagame, especially with all the hazards around now, sticky webs, stealth rocks, spikes, etc. Then at level 28 it learns Water Pulse, which is obviously one of the water type moves you could teach to Blastoise, and again I'll focus on this more later on. Then we move on to the TMs. TM05 learns Roar, that's going to be used in one of the setups as a defensive role. TM06 Toxic, again can be used in sort of a defensive role, being Stoolie, etc. Then TM13 is Ice Beam, that's obviously an offensive ice type move, which can be helpful depending on what your opponent is. Then TM55 can learn Scold, which is another water type move, so it's your another option if you don't want to teach it Water Pulse. Then TM82 is Dragon Tail, again working in a defensive role, because Dragon Tail obviously sends the opponent back out, I do believe at least. And then TM97 we have Dark Pulse, which is a Dark type move. The pulses here you'll see more about in a second, guys. Then there are 2 egg moves here, which are Dragon Pulse and Aura Sphere. These are both pretty, good moves, especially with the Mega Blastoise set we're going to look at in just a second. So before we move on and look at the Wi-Fi setups, we have to take a look at Blastoise's Mega Evolution. So obviously Mega Blastoise, it's still a plain water type, doesn't actually gain any other type or anything, so could be good, could be bad, who knows. Its dimensions, its height stays the same, however it increases in weight, going up to 222.9 pounds or 101.1 kilograms. And its Blastoise, its Mega Stone, is received from Professor Sycamore if you choose Squirtle, or if not, you can actually buy it from the Vernal Avenue Stone Emporium if you, didn't pick Squirtle as your starter Pokemon. Then, the ability for Mega Blastoise is Mega Launcher, which powers up Aura and Pulse moves, hence the Water Pulse, the Dark Pulse, the Dragon Pulse, the Aura Sphere, etc. So this is quite a useful ability, especially since, we'll look at it more in a second, but it does offer Mega Blastoise some more different sort of types to be able to use with its attacks. Its base stats here, its health points and its speed don't change at all. Its defenses increase slightly, as does its special attack and its physical attack. As you can see, its special attack is the highest stat here, obviously working with Mega Launcher there, so really Mega Blastoise is slightly more offensive than defensive. Then first up, looking at our Wi-Fi setups, first one here is the Mega Blastoise setup. As I said, moveset here is Rapid Spin, Water Pulse or Scold, Dark Pulse, and then Aura Sphere, Dragon Pulse or Ice Beam. Its ability is Torrent, but obviously this can change to Mega Launcher when it Mega Evolves. Nature is Modest, held item being obviously the Mega Stone, Blastoiseite, and the EVs you want to put maximum in health points, maximum in special attack, and the rest in special defense. So looking at the moveset, Rapid Spin obviously because you need this to really make Blastoise work and have it as a Rapid Spinner on your team. Water Pulse or Scold is your main stab move. You could also have Hydro Pump, but that does tend to miss every now and again, so I haven't included it. Water Pulse or Scold. I think Scold does slightly less damage because Water Pulse does more with Mega Launcher combined, but however Scold gets the burn off every now and again, so you could think about possibly using that. Obviously Dark Pulse's power increases, and you can use that to take out some ghost types like Gengar or stuff like that. And then we have the final slot here, Aura Sphere, Dragon Pulse or Ice Beam. Obviously Aura Sphere and Dragon Pulse you're going to get boosted by Mega Launcher. And pretty good moves, obviously Dragon Pulse for taking out Dragon types, Aura Sphere for taking out any types you're going to struggle with, for example Steel. And then Ice Beam can be used as a backup. Obviously doesn't get powered up from Mega Launcher, but it could be used if it backup against grass types or a similar type like that. Ability, obviously you're not going to include Rain Dish really because there's not much point, especially since it's just going to Mega Evolve as soon as you go out on the field pretty much. Nature being Modest because you want the highest special attack you can. We're not using physical attacks here apart from Rapid Spin, but that really, Rapid Spin, all Rapid Spin's for is just to get rid of the hazards. You're not expected to do much damage there at all. Held item, again obviously the Mega Stone, you need that, and the EV spread, maximum health points and special attack, so obviously you've got a really high special attack and a fairly high health point bulk as well, so you can always take advantage of that. And the rest in special defense, just sort of boost that special defense it had on, because obviously Mega Blastoise defense was 120, special defense was 115, so put a bit more in special defense just to boost it up to about the same. So really the way you want to use this setup is just basically go out, Mega Evolve. Depends what obviously your opponent has got at the moment, but if you've got hazards up, you could Rapid Spin straight away as soon as you Mega Evolved and hope you can take an attack or two and then go for the attack, see if you can get one hit kill or two hit kill off. It really depends what they're doing. You could scare them, say they've got a Rhyperior on the field, you send out Mega Blastoise or just Blastoise, they're obviously going to switch out, so you could take that turn to Rapid Spin and get that out. However, they could predict you Rapid Spinning and switch your Ghost type in, but who knows, it's all about predictions in the game of Wi-Fi battling. That's pretty much it for the Mega Blastoise setup. Just jump out, Rapid Spin if you need to, and inflict some decent damage. Then the second setup for Blastoise today, we have some more of a defensive setup. So we've had the offensive one with the Mega Blastoise, and now we're having the defensive one with the normal Blastoise. You can't really run offensive normal Blastoise because it doesn't work very well, because obviously it's got higher defenses rather than special attack and special attack, etc. So we want to have Rapid Spin, Scold, Roar or Dragon Tail, and Toxic. Ability being Rain Dish this time, Nature being Bold, held item being Leftovers, and EVs. You want maximum health points, maximum defense, and the rest in special defense. So, moves first, obviously Rapid Spin again, that is a given, you don't even have to ask me about that, because they're obviously running that, especially since you're being defensive, so it's a very good option for a Rapid Spinner. Then Scold is your main water type move. Water Pulse I think has less damage now because no Mega Launcher, and obviously you've got the chance to burn, which is always good, especially if you're going defensive and you're trying to get as many hits off as you can. You could also run Hydro Pump here, but as I've said, it's not really an offensive set, so it's really what you want to do there. And then Roar or Dragon Tail, this is to get rid of setup, people that are setting up, because obviously defensive Pokemon don't have that high attack, so someone can easily send out a Pokemon and set up and then take out your defensive Pokemon and then just go through and take out all your other Pokemon. So obviously Roar and Dragon Tail is just to get rid of any people that are going to try and set up, for example, Aegislash with Swords Dance or whatever. You could obviously just Dragon Tail that out. The choice between the two is really, it's just dependent. Dragon Tail obviously inflicts some more damage, but Roar obviously is a normal type. In my opinion, I'd go for Dragon Tail, but you could go for Roar as well, because obviously Dragon Tail is not going to affect fairies, so that's the thing there, and Roar is not going to affect normal types. So really it's a two, whichever one you choose, you're not going to be able to get everyone with it, but I would go for Dragon Tail just for that extra bit of damage. Then obviously lastly here we have Toxic, because obviously if you're being a defensive set, you can just get a Toxic off and last them out if you're just doing that. you know what I mean. Ability here is Rain Dish, mainly because Torrent is not that useful at all, because it only powers up water type moves, and obviously if you're getting low on health you don't particularly want to be in battle for much longer anyway, or you're not in battle for much longer anyway. So Rain Dish is definitely helpful here, especially if you're running it with a Drizzle Toad, or a Polar Toad with Drizzle, etc., or another Rain setup, so that might be helpful there, because obviously Rain Dish is going to restore your health points, which combined with your hold item leftovers is actually going to help you regain health points, because if you notice in the moveset, we've got no way of regaining health points apart from leftovers and the ability, so you really want to try and use that as much as you can. Nature here is Bold, and that's working with the EVs, because obviously maximum health points is just boosting your health points, and then the EV's maximum defense, rest and special defense, and Bold is going to boost your defense and reduce your attack. So really you're trying to, because your special defense is slightly higher as a normal Blastoise, normal defense is 100, special defense is 105, so combining the Bold with the maximum EVs in defense and the rest in special defense, you're really going to get sort of a defensive Blastoise that covers all the areas. It's not focusing on just one defense, so it works pretty much for everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the setup. You want to get out there, you can just go out there, be defensive, maybe hit a Toxicroak. If they start setting up, go for a Roar or a Dragon Tail. Take advantage of Rain Dish if you can, but really, as I mentioned already, Rain isn't huge in Generation 6 metagame, so really it just depends on how you can use that to your ability. It might work well in a double set if you have a Rain Dancer coming out or something like that, but really yeah, it just depends on how you want to use it. So obviously Rapid Spin is again the main focal point here, because obviously that's your thing, and that's why you want to sort of get Blastoise to last, because obviously you could come out towards the start of the game, use the Rapid Spin, get rid of the Stealth Rocks they set up, but then they might set up Stealth Rocks again later on in the game, so obviously you want to bring your Blastoise out again, especially if you're using a Pokemon like Charizard or Talonflame. So guys, I think that's pretty much it for this episode of Pokemon DataDex. Hopefully you guys have enough information on how to use Blastoise properly. Go away into the world of Wi-Fi battling and try him out. So guys, thanks for watching the video. Remember to check out all the other awesome content on LumioseStation, and you can also check out my channel as well. And I'll be seeing you next time guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye my friends.